I'm Ron. Thanks for checking this out. We are in the winter solstice holiday season. Whatever tradition or blend of traditions you practice, some of your family and friends might enjoy hearing you play a couple of seasonal songs on your Native American style flute. So today we're going to look at a very useful scale pattern and a couple of lovely old melodies you can play on your flute using that pattern. Grab your favorite A flute and we'll get started. Both the tunes we're looking at today use the same scale pattern. And of course, once you know the fingerings, then you can play the tunes on any key flute that you want to. Now, I'm going to play the scale from bottom of the flute to the top of the flute and back down again. I'm going to try to arrange myself so that you can see what my fingers are actually doing. There are some fingerings here that are outside of our usual minor pentatonic scale. Right, I exaggerated my fingers movements a lot more than I normally would so that you could see what I'm doing. Now I'm going to play that again even a little more slowly, and this time I'm going to put up finger graphics so that you can see exactly what the fingerings are. And you'll see that some of these are outside fingerings. There are alternate fingerings for some of these pitches, and if you know them and prefer to use them, that's fine. We'll talk about that another time. I really want to get to the tunes as quickly as we can today. All right, here we go. Watch those finger graphics. Both of our melodies are going to end on this fingering. So these are melodies that have that nice contour of going below the note where they're going to end. It's one of my favorite things and one of the things I really like about these melodies. So I'm going to play this scale one more time, but I'm going to start here, right, because that's going to be where our tunes end. I'm going to go all the way up, all the way down, and then return to here. And by the time I do that, you'll have a pretty good sense of what this scale is about. All right, for you music geeks out there, if you hear this essentially as a major scale that's been laid out so that the key note, D in this case, is in the middle of the pattern, you are on target. And if you want to go next level geekiness, we could describe this as hypo-Ionian mode. And actually, both of these melodies use all of the notes of hypo-Ionian mode. All right, rewind and practice with me a little bit, or just hit the pause button, practice up and down, get these patterns into your fingers a little bit, and we will move on to the tunes. Our first melody will probably be familiar to you if you enjoy watching the ceremonies of lessons and carols that are often broadcast from England this time of year, because this is usually the first song that you'll hear in one of their ceremonies. It's usually known as Once in Royal David's City. The melody itself is called Irby and is attributed to a 19th century musician from England named Henry Gauntlet. I'm going to play it really straight ahead, not going to put reverb or anything on this, and I'll try to position myself so that you can see my hands as well as possible while I'm playing. I'm going to play the scale for this song from bottom to top one more time, and I'm going to put up the finger graphics that you saw before so that you can see really clearly what fingerings I'm using. And then also this time, you'll notice that towards the top of the flute, there are numbers assigned to each fingering. I do this so that then I can just use a sequence of numbers as kind of a memory aid to help me remember tunes. This is all based off of our beginning minor pentatonic scale, so that scale provides the essential finger numberings 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then all the other fingerings are treated as variations of that. So watch carefully. All right, now I'm going to play our melody, Irby, one more time, and this time I'm just going to put up a simple graph that will show you the fingering sequence, the number sequence that I would use to help play the tune and help remember the tune. Notice that phrase 1 and phrase 2 are exactly the same. So if you learn phrase 1, you already know phrase 2, or you could just think to yourself, play phrase 1 twice. Most melodies are made up of a small number of patterns and maybe variations of those patterns. So the more quickly we can recognize the patterns and the variations and how they fit together, the more quickly we can learn the tune. Our second tune is a traditional melody from France, and it's also associated with Christmas. I chose these tunes because they both use the same scale pattern, because they're fairly easy to play and they sound really well on our flutes. I don't mean to advocate for any particular tradition. So if you have songs from your tradition that you would like to play on the flute and you need a little help with it, let me know in the comments box and I will try to add it to a future video. Or even better, if you have songs from your tradition that you play on the flute, please let us know if there's a video of it so that we can hear you do it. That would be really, really cool. This song is called Il est né le divin enfant. For me, this is a tune that always seems to want to dance, so I'm going to play it a little bit more up-tempo than the other song. So exactly the same scale pattern as our other song, Irby, or Once in Royal David City, but a completely different sounding and feeling tune. Rhythm and energy makes such a huge difference. Here's the song again, and this time I'll put up a graphic that has this finger sequence for the song using my little number system, and this sequence will also be in the description box. sure you noticed all the repetitive patterns that will really speed up your learning of that song. Now, these two melodies actually pair very nicely together. Maybe start with Once in Royal David City and then dance a little bit with Il est né le divin enfant. So I hope you enjoy sharing these songs with your family and friends, or even better and more fun, playing these songs with your family and friends. Always happy to hear any comments or questions or suggestions that you have, so you can leave those in the comments, please. Also, hit that like and subscribe button if you found this useful and helpful. Maybe share it with your flute circle buddies the next time you're all together. I'm going to try and post a little studio arrangement of these two tunes before the solstice hits. Not going to make any promises, though, because it's a busy time of year, and I actually usually take a little downtime about this time of year as well. But even if that doesn't happen, when we hit the new year, we will continue to expand our vocabulary on our favorite instrument. So thanks for hanging out, and I will see you next time.